last year. People liked it so much, we decided to bring it here. Now we're going to be entering this house in a graveyard, and we're going to be greeted by Muerte. Muerte is going to be kind of our host for the night. He's going to show us around this town where these three Latin American monsters decided to gather just for us tonight. Say hi to y'all. Isn't that very nice of them? Right. All right. The first monster we're going to see is Kalao Pucci. She is a shape-shifting vampire who feeds solely on the blood of infants and babies. Literally only the blood of infants and babies. Very heavy imagery on the blood of infants and babies. That's your warning. And then we're going to see El Sabon. He is known as the Whistler. So you're going to hear his whistling throughout the house. And you're going to see that he prefers to kill victims in a very unique way. And that is pulling their spines straight out of their backs. Yeah. So like, you know when your back hurts and you want someone to like, yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. You know it's him. He's wearing a big black hat. Hard to miss, I promise. And then the last monster we're going to see is Lala Chusa. Lala Chusa is another shapeshifter. She shapeshifts into a really big owl with kind of a witchy looking face. And she preys on those who hear her owl call. So keep it in there. You're going to exit out to that same graveyard, and maybe Muerte's digging her grave. For someone, I don't know, maybe you. And after we do monsters, we're going to go right into A Quiet Place. Have you seen the Quiet Place films at all? Fans of films? Love. We're going to follow the story of the first two films, so don't worry if you haven't seen anyone that came out this year. The story follows the Abbott family. Now, they are living in a world that has been invaded by these aliens. These are really massive aliens called Death Angels, and they are very deadly, as the name implies. The thing with these Death Angels, though, is they're completely blind, so they hunt only by sound. So they have very heightened hearing, so any kind of noise you make, they're going to hear you and they're going to hunt you. Now, the family we're following, their older daughter, Reagan, actually is already deaf, so the entire family is fluent in American Sign Language, so it kind of gives them an advantage in this world where they have to use sign language. You're going to see a lot of American Sign Language used in this house, probably a lot of people fluent in sign language to make sure that the dialect used in the house is as proper and respectful as the dialect used in the actual film. And at times, this is going to be one of the quietest haunted houses you've ever walked into, especially if you've been to horror nights before. You know, it's a really weird concept to think, oh, you're going to walk in and it's going to be loud. But there are certain rooms where it is very quiet. So to me, that makes it a little scarier at times, but I'll leave that up to you guys. I'll go in first and start screaming so we all get a tap. this is going to be Major Sweets Candy Factory. Now, if anyone went to Halloween Horror Nights in 2022, 2 years ago, in that New York area we were just in, we had a scare zone called Sweet Revenge. This house is going to be the prequel to that scare zone. The scare zone, they were having a Halloween parade with a bunch of kids, and somehow all the kids turned into ravenous murderers. I hate it when that happens. And this house is going to be exactly how that happens. So we've been invited out to the Progress County School field trip to see Major Sweets Candy Factory, and you guys have all been assigned to be the chaperones. Right? That's the scariest part of the night, right? Yeah. So we're gonna go on this field trip. We've been invited by Major Sweets himself to tour his candy factory, and he has told the kids they can have as much as they want. So yeah, have fun with that. You're gonna full of horror on your face. It's great. So in this house, you're gonna see Major Sweets himself, as well as his second in command, Miss Treats, and maybe a funny-looking guy named Taffy, who also works in the factory, as you tour the factory. And you're gonna find out real quick that Major Sweets had a diabolical plan, and he has in fact poisoned all the candy to turn the kids into murderers. So maybe tell the kids to not eat the candy. Good luck with that. But yeah, so things get a little crazy. This house has something but words. We're rewinding. This house has something like. Okay. All right. This house has guest-activated triggers. Now, these are things that you can interact with in the haunted house to make something happen. Usually, you can't touch anything in the house, but if you see a flashing red button, there's going to be 2 of them in there. Maybe press them. Maybe something will happen to you, or the person standing behind you, the person standing in front of you. You never know. And when you walk into Major Sweets' office, kind of at the beginning, there's a little bowl of candy on the edge of the table that says "Take one." Maybe you want to pretend like you're going to take one. Maybe something will happen. Maybe not. Do what you want. You know, I want what you want. So, oh yeah, sounds like it's time to go on a field trip. Mostly famous for their horror movies, so they've done more horror. And we have partnered with them here at Horror Nights time and time again. My favorite time that we've ever partnered with Love House was to did a house that was based off of the movie Freaky and the movie The Black Phone. And those are actually characters that you're going to see here in this scare zone. So this scare zone is going to be kind of just a showcase of a bunch of Blumhouse characters. So you'll see characters from Freaky and The Black Phone, characters from a bunch of the Purge movies, characters from Death Day, and you might see Cinema 2. Right? This is my favorite, so if you don't like it, lie to me. Slaughter Cinema 2. The 2 does indicate that this is a sequel. We had an original Slaughter Cinema House here at HHN in 2018. People loved it so much, we brought it back for a sequel. You know what they say? Sequel's always better than the original. Thank you, right? So, our Slaughter Cinema Houses are kind of compilations of a bunch of movie trailers. Every room you walk in, you're going to see a movie poster telling you what trailer you're about to walk into. Now, these are not necessarily your Oscar-winning Best Actress, Best Actor movies. They're kind of like your silly, campy B movies, B meaning best movies, obviously. So you're going to see some very interesting things in here. This is also a really good way for our creative team to kind of see what people like at the event. Our Slaughter Cinema House in 2018 had a Yeti movie trailer in it, and it spawned 2 separate HHN houses about Yetis. So keep an eye out on something you like. Maybe you'll see it at a future event here. I'll give you a minor spoiler. My favorite movie is Mummy Strippers Unwrapped. I would love to see a whole house of mummy strippers. It's great, it's great. Whatever. So would he. Right? Thank you. Our first domino is going to be the museum, Deadly Exhibits. Years ago, and really built the foundation of this company on it. If it were not for movies like Mummy, Dracula, Wolfman, all that kind of fun stuff, this company might not have made it through the Great Depression. So you are standing here today because of these classic monsters. Universal loves them so much. We've actually had a classic monster house here at HHN every year since 2019, and they're typically a lot of people's favorites, and by a lot of people I mean me. They're usually my favorites. I love these houses. And this year is what I like to call our female rage house. We're here with an all-girl cast, girl powerhouse, and most of the crew. Thank you. And most of the crew that helped develop this house are also women as well. So we are following the story of Saskia Van Helsing. She is now the last living relative of the Van Helsing monster hunting family. So she's mourning the loss of her father and most recently her brother, both who were killed by monsters. So she is seriously pissed and she's out for some serious revenge. So on her quest for revenge, she finds an unlikely ally in the form of a monster herself, the Bride of Frankenstein. The Bride of Frankenstein is also mourning the loss of her beloved Frankenstein's monster, who was just killed by She-Wolf. So they both have similar motives, so they kind of form a truce, a little bit of an alliance. They're not the best of friends, because, you know, they just met. One is a monster, one's a monster hunter. We're gonna go and fight all these female monsters, and we'll see who makes it out alive. Sound good? Sound fun? Yeah. Thank you. Ignore that. Don't worry about it. That's not where we're going.
Quiet, me.
You'll be fine.
You'll scare the rest of the cow.
It's fine. Perfect. All right, we're at our next house, and this is Goblin's Feast. Now, every year on the anniversary, we're all goblin kind gathered up to defeat humans once and for all to have an annual Goblin's Feast to celebrate their victories. So they take the entire day preparing this feast. There's goblin school, goblin makes their clothes, all that kind of fun stuff to celebrate their day. Sounds a lot like our Thanksgiving. Yeah. We eat turkey on our Thanksgiving, so obviously goblins like to eat humans. You're right. It's their favorite delicacy. Oil of magic. They prefer it anyway, but their most preferred way is going to be alive and screaming. So just know that when you walk in there, the goblin looking at you wants to eat you alive. I feel like that's kind of a holiday. I think it is. You see all kinds of goblins in this house. Goblins, witches, trolls, orcs. You might even see a goblin king or a giant or two, all preparing this goblin feast.
ahead.
If anyone's seen the newest installment, we've seen Frozen Empire. Even if you haven't seen Frozen Empire, we're familiar with any of the Ghostbusters films. Yes, no. Even if you are a fan of just the old ones, there's going to be something for everyone. This is going to be following the plot of the newest installment, Frozen Empire. So came out at the beginning of the year, and it brings us back to that iconic firehouse in New York City. Now we are back with the Ghostbusters team, and it's kind of like a hybrid Ghostbusters team. We got our descendants of Spengler, so his kids and his grandkids, as well as the original Ghostbusters. Teaming up, legacy Ghostbusters, and they are running around New York City, back at it, busting ghosts. So one day, someone finds this ancient orb, and obviously the ancient orb is possessed by an evil entity. That's always how that goes. And of course, that ancient orb releases that evil entity, and this is Garaka. Now, Garaka is dead set on starting the next ice age throughout New York City. Take it from someone who grew up in New England, you don't want to shovel the snow. So we're going to watch our Ghostbusters try and defeat Garaka, prevents the second ice age. Now, because we use our sound stages for our houses, we can put a lot of cool stuff in here because they are so big. And that firehouse is actually 24 feet tall. It's one of the biggest set pieces we've ever put in an HHN house. You're going to see a lot of stuff from the films as well. We partner very closely with the studios to get proper proton pack sounds, jumpsuits, measurements that are exactly identical to the ones in the films, as well as one of 25 ever Ecto-1 cars ever made. One of them is in this house. Well, technically it's half of one, because we have to cut it in half to fit it in there. Half of one of 25 Ecto-1s ever made are in there. So there's something for everyone. For old Ghostbusters fans, you might see some classic ghosts that you like as well. Nudge, nudge. Definitely gonna see a lot of those mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Men. Don't touch them. They bite.
Oh, of course.
I promise. All right, last one of the night, guys. You ready?
Fun.
I liked it. I think it's visually really cool. All the sets. It's like you're walking into the room. All right, let's get out of the crowd flow.
I think my favorite was for non-IP is the museum house.
Museum.
I work in a museum and I'm an art historian.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I love it. It's so much fun and scary. It's the scariest of the non-IPs, I think.
I hope that never happens. You get if they're like, you want this really weird exhibit to come to the museum, say no. Lesson learned. Do we have a favorite?
Insidious was the most scary.
Yes.
That was the scariest.
Other than that, I had a great time. I appreciate you all for having fun. I know you all.
Thank you.
Your first RIP tour. I hope we had fun. I hope it ruined. Thank you. I hope it ruined it for you forever, and you never want to not take a tour ever again. Because guys, we did it all in less than 5 hours. If you wanted to, you could go home and go to bed. You could be in bed before midnight. This is not the real